my goodness. Thank you so much, everyone. What a beautiful evening. And if there's something I've ever enjoyed, is to be in the company of amazing, beautiful, powerful, purposeful women. And thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. And before I say anything, of course, Alan, what you didn't say is the other things we did. I still have the photos in Addis, the photos in Kigali, and all those things we used to do, having a lot of fun as women and empowering each other and having a lot of fun. So today I was asked to speak, and I asked, how much time do I have? So I said, okay, can I play a song? Would that be counted within the time I have to speak? But I think for me it was more important to figure out, what can I say today that everybody is going to remember? And every time I speak, I always tell people, I might say a lot of things, but I want you to take out one thing. If I'm good, take out 2 things. If I'm brilliant, take out 3. But don't ever expect to get more than that out of anything anybody says. So today what I want to speak to is both the things we hear about and the things we don't hear about. I have 12 things that I want to speak to today to empower us, the things that help us shine as women. I mean, me shining today, there was a question I was asked of the panel. They said, what's going to be your sparkle and shine? I was like the person who said, what am I going to wear? There was nothing very deep. So I brought out, I'm a shoe person. I write a blog, and I always told that story about the shoe story. So I removed all my shiny shoes. And I wore the first one. By the way, do you like these ones? These ones? I actually, I said, where be my shoes? Because me and my shoes, hey, we don't part company. So let's talk about some of the things I want to speak to today, ladies. Hey, yes, that's them. Can you see them? Can you see them? Have you guys seen J-Lo in these shoes? But these ones are designed for an over 50-year-old woman with bad knees. So, I can walk and strut in them, but they still give the same effect. So let me start with the first lesson that I want to share with all of you amazing women here. The first thing is, whatever you do, if there is something I've learned, is believing in your unique strengths. Remember, we can't be the same. I can't be Alan and start G4G. I'm not going to be that, right? I'm not going to be Angie, who's going to have the time to coach and do everything. I sit with Wandia and watch her passion and vision as she has grown Vivo. In fact, I can tell you, I was there when she started Vivo, right? I chair the board of Vivo right now, but let me tell you, I never imagined I would. I was on holiday, on a spa holiday in Bangkok, and a mutual friend tells me, Wandia is here. I'm like, what is she doing here? I used to meet Wandia in what do you call these things? No, not in bars. I used to meet her at the airport lounges. She was a powerhouse, development officer, all that. So I'm like, but what the hell is Wandia doing? And then I find out she's at the other end of town. And then she comes and she meets us, and she says, oh, she's looking for clothes, this, that, and everything. And I remember I never said anything. I spent the whole time just looking at her. Seriously? That's 12 years ago. Vivo today has, 27 stores? Now we're going to 30 stores. In Uganda, Rwanda, we were there in the US, amazing. Standing there watching all the vroom, vroom, vroom of cars come and, everything else. So each of us has our own incredible power. So embrace our own unique strengths. Confidence comes from understanding our own abilities. Have I always been self-confident? Those of you who knew me in school, I was in high school here. I've got people I was in high school. Joyce-Ann knew me, Wandia knew me, I'm sitting here, you knew me in high school. I was nowhere near as confident, very self-conscious. I felt I was skinny, I was shapeless, I was all sorts of things that you deal with. But until the day you actually acknowledge your unique capabilities, you're not going to start to shine. So the first thing, ladies, and especially the young ones, you have to believe in your unique strengths. If what you want to be is a chef, go and be a chef. If what you want to be is be an accountant, go and be an accountant. If what you want to be is be a pilot, go and be that. Don't try and be someone else. Your strengths are your own strengths. And how do you get there? The second thing is about setting your goals. And you know, it's difficult. People tell you set your goals, and you imagine you're setting your goals. It's really hard to set goals. But goals is even simple things. Telling yourself, you know, at the end of the year, I want to go on this holiday. At the end of the year, I want to lose 5 kilos. At the end of the year, I want to change jobs. I am tired. I want to take a break. That is a goal, right? So be able to set those goals and let those goals be whatever they may be, because for you, they will be big and they will eventually allow you to reach for what is impossible. So that's the second lesson that I'd like to teach. The third thing is really about cultivating a growth mindset. You know, in everything that I do, I have acknowledged my strengths and my weaknesses. And I speak now for true, as we say in Kenya. I hate details, right? Me, I like big picture, exciting, creating stuff. When you start bogging down with where the dot is, the this, the points, the whatever, I'm going to be like, ooh. So what do? I surround myself in people who complement what I'm not strong in, right? I'm here with our wonderful CFO, Miriam Kagwa. Of course, she had to be here with all the Ugandan fraternity. One of the most amazing people I've worked with. And do you know why I love her? Because she does everything I don't enjoy, right? She sits down the other day and tells me, oh, I have so much capacity in my head. I'm thinking, oh, good. Means I'll have more time to play golf. Let's give her more. You see? So surround yourself with people who complement you, who do the stuff. She loves the details, the drilling, the this, what tax went where. Tell me. I said, so tell me again about that tax. So what's the bigger picture? How do we drive it? What do we do? And then I go there and I speak like an expert. All the work has been done there. So that is part of your growth. Where do you grow? How do you manage what you do? But another thing that I learned, because also, as I said, self-confidence is a very difficult thing to grow, is this thing about owning your power. How do you own your power? You know, there's so many times we spend a lot of time dimming our light. We dim our light because we're amongst others. We sit somewhere and you're like, you know, let me sit behind. Oh my goodness. I can't do this. You know, I'm amongst big people. You girls out there, by the end of the night, I want you to come and sit in front here. Okay? Each one of you has to come and sit right in front of here, because you have to shine unapologetically. You cannot dim your light for someone else. Everything you do, that leadership, by the way, comes in so many different forms. The fact that you had more challenges to overcome means you're a bigger leader than somebody else who probably had their life easy. Don't ever underestimate that in anything that you do. The next thing is creating and nurturing a strong support network. And that is what we're doing here today. Correct? Can we give a big shout out to G4S for creating this incredibly powerful network that continues to reaffirm us, that continues to tell us that, you know, we what in fear? Speak it? Nancy loves it. Huh? We do it afraid. All right? So very, very important. And then my favorite one is how we prioritize self-care and doing all the things that matter to us. Do you know one of the most saddest thing about women is that we spend a lot of time apologizing for relaxing, Or I have to go to the salon. It's not that, it's just this nail has broken, so and you're constantly trying to apologize for doing the right things. You apologize for lying in. You apologize for saying, what I want to do is I don't want to go out. You apologize for saying, today, I'm just going to sleep, right? You apologize for sitting down and saying, I am tired, right? Let me tell you, if there's one thing I do, my calendar, when I'm done, it has block. Do you know what block is? Block is I'm playing golf, okay? Block is I'm going to do the things that I want in order to unwind. Men have done it for time immemorial. Nobody questions, right? So we need to learn this power of prioritizing self-care. These things called mindfulness, rest, and self-compassion are things that allow us to stay grounded. So I want to ask each one of you today, don't ever apologize to anyone, for sitting down and saying, you know what, I'm done, I'm tired. Doesn't make you weaker. It actually makes you stronger. The other thing is this thing called embracing resilience and adaptability. Life will always have its ups and downs. I've worked close to 35 years today. And what I love was the power of the conversation around putting this bag of my mistakes and lessons. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because we spend a lot of time somebody asking you, what were the greatest things you've done? If it's a CV, tell us the things that you've done. Nobody ever asks you about where you failed and what you learned. But in life for me, the things that have grown me the most is where I have failed. Because it has allowed me to introspect. It has allowed me to reflect on what I can do differently. But more than anything else, it's that thing that allows you to look at self-appreciation and figure out where you're good and where you can be better. But the other thing is it also gives you compassion for others. Because if I'm not perfect, then you learn to understand and embrace that others also cannot be perfect. The other thing, number 8, I'm running through this quite quickly, is learn to celebrate your achievements and progress. Have you ever heard the story about women's CVs versus men's CVs? You all know that story? I see it every single day. A woman's CV will always speak about we. So we did this, we did that, we'll talk about I. Sorry, I did this, I drove this, and I was the one, I. Right? A woman's CV was, we were part, we did, we whatever. So, if it's something you've done, you won't speak to it. So listen, women, you have to celebrate your achievements. Self-appreciation is key to really driving your staying motivated, and continuing to shine. If you're proud of something, actually, it is not being immodest when you talk about it. It's about speaking to your power and who you are and allowing others to do the same. So really, celebrate your progress. Learn to recognize it, learn to speak to it with all the humility that it has. The 9th thing has always been my uncompromising thing that I've learned about shining and living with that aspect. It's really about leading with integrity and authenticity. I tell people I can deal with a lot of stuff. I will take a lot of stuff from anyone. But integrity, ethics, that one, I battle. Honestly and truly, I battle. And I tell people that, remember, you assume, let me just do this one. That one is going to color all the other goods that you do. Because somehow, people always remember that one. So guys, the power of living with integrity, be true to who you are in your interactions. My lifestyle is always, I say, I'm hard and I'm fair. If I'm going to tell you you're stupid, I tell people you're stupid. I'll be prepared to say you are to your face. As opposed to the other thing, soft and mean, where I sit with you and I say, oh, you know, you're so lovely. Look at you, so pretty, so beautiful. And then I go sit with my daughter. How could she wear that dress? You know, what do they look? That is really soft and mean, right? And it's the same thing we do in workplaces, where we spend time telling people, oh, you know, yes, of course you can get the job. Of course you're ready. You're fantastic. You go to the leadership thing, and what do you say? Not ready. No chance will they get. That is soft and mean. Have the power to be hard and fair. And that is the power of authenticity. The easy one for me is empowering other women along the way. One thing everybody finds is that wherever I go, I like to surround myself with women leaders. Listen, we run now WPP-Scangroup, 2 women, Miriam and I. Shout out. So I actually believe in the power of who we are, because there's so many things we can relate to. So much we can understand. So many different elements that we can. There is a power in that solidarity. When one woman shines, all women, thank you. And the last 2, you have to stay curious and never stop learning. You have to remain open to other ideas. You have to remain open to other people's views and perspectives. I always tell myself, why should I judge somebody? Listen, if you love to run around and do whatever it is, listen, it is your prerogative. Who am I to judge you? I sit down and say, I will never judge somebody in this life, because much as I'd like to be God, I'm not. Okay? So let us learn to continue to stay curious, to remain open to new ideas, to ask questions, to seek opportunities, to drive that curiosity around why do people do things differently to you, as opposed to how can they do things that particular way. My daughter's here. She'll sit down and she'll tell you how they have this thing of telling me, Mom, you're staring. Mom, can you stop listening to people's conversations? You know? Because I am just innately curious. You know, we go to a restaurant as a family. I remember even when they were young, I'd love to sit next to the one that's cozy, and I spend my time listening to this conversation, that conversation. They're like, Mom, can you listen to us? I'm like, no, there's something interesting going on here. And then at the end of the night, I'd come back and I'll tell them, yeah. That girl, what bullshit was she telling that guy? I mean, that, and they're like, how do you know that? No, but I listened. You know, so it is called eavesdropping. Yes, I agree, but I've always been a curious person. And I think I love the power of loving people and understanding what drives them and that curiosity. So I've never held back from that curiosity, and I love to do those things, and I love to continually learn. And especially if it's big space type of things, I love it, right? And the last one, number 12, is really find your purpose and your passion. I tell everyone, if you are not doing something you enjoy, I can tell you it's more likely than unlikely that you're going to fail. Right? Think about the things that you do well. Think about it. You'll find you actually enjoy them. And if you enjoy something, even if you're not good at it, what do? You focus and you try a little bit better. Right? Am I good at golf? No. But boy, do I love it. We have a love-hate relationship, you know, abusive sometimes. But guess what? I keep going back and back because it's a passion I have. I enjoy it, right? I love my shoes. Okay, very fickle, I know. But the pleasure it gives me. You know, I've never traveled anywhere and come back without a pair of shoes. Even if you take me to the middle of nowhere, I will find shoes, okay? Now, for many years, I was very apologetic about it. My girls would tell me how we'd go on holiday, and I'd be told, we're going on holiday, and you're not buying shoes. So you know what I'd do? I'd leave them and say, I need to get a coffee. I go, come, buy the shoes, put them in their bag, and then come with a very cold cup of coffee. And I say, Mom, have you been buying that coffee? Yes. I've been buying that coffee. And then at the end of the day, they open their suitcase. Where did these shoes come from? You know? And so really finding the things that are your passion. And then also your purpose. My purpose for me has always been a great mentor, leader, example to women in corporate. Right? Because I grew up looking at men, and wondering, why is it we don't have women on boards? Why don't we have women leading businesses? Yeah? And so for me, that has been my purpose through my life. But the second bigger purpose is recognizing that there's good in everyone. How do we make sure in everything we do, we see the good? So it doesn't matter what people may say about you, you recognize that at least if you are good to a few, they will see it. The same way I will see the good in what you do. So in conclusion, you are a light. Let it shine. Your journey is uniquely yours. Embrace the challenges and victories along the way. Never stop believing in your potential to make a difference in your life and in the world. And most importantly, keep shining boldly and encourage others to do the same. Thank you. Let's roar like a tiger.